G'day, fellas. Welcome to the brand new patch that has just been broken. Oh my god. Interjection! You're the worst!
Interjection.
Do we keep that in the YouTube video? Ladies and gentlemen, interjection has just come in and interjected right there. Welcome to the brand new patch. Interjection has worked on it tirelessly for the last couple of months, and here we go. Let's take a look at what we've got in store for us today. You know, interjection, if that had been anybody else, I would have gone for a redo, but because it's you, I will allow you to interject this one time. Hello, adventurers. Another exciting day for Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. There are a lot of exciting changes, improvement, new maps, and even some fun new cheat codes coming with today's patch. New maps, dude. I freaking love new maps. While there are plenty of notable fixes and features to which you to look forward to in today's build, here are some of the big highlights coming with this month's updates. Even more crash fixes and stability improvements. Major The African Royals events. Everyone can unlock a new Honey Badger cheat. That's cool. That's cool. Owners of the African Royals can unlock a skin for their Hausa and Ethiopia Explorer. India and Japanese home cities upgraded to have customization. 4 new maps, 10 new Hausa cards, 10 new Ethiopian cards, long list of AI improvements. Ludicrous zoom out option is here. Reconnect multiplayer games that went out of sync. Oh my lord. Okay. The biggest thing that I want to talk about first is just unlocking a skin. You can get skins now. We're League of Legends now, boys. We are League of Legends now. Oh my lord. This is huge. This is absolutely massive. Let's get straight into it. Give us everything. Okay, so build spotlight, 10 new cards. So new cards, Hausa. So Houses and Ethiopia, obviously both of them guys have been massively overhauled, nerfed, a little bit buffed in the late game, a little bit nerfed in the early game. Let's take a look and see some of the new cards that they've got access to. So the first thing that we've got is Kalishi Jerky, increases the max food of totable herdables, the maximum food total herdables can fatten to. So cattle and llamas gain plus 100, sheep and goats plus 60. Team Indigo Dye Works, 15% work rate for coin, which is gathered on fields, estates, and rice paddy, and it's granted to the entire team. Pretty good card, that card. What is this card? Tsetsi Sabotage? Unlocks a new ability for your Emir. Tsetsi Sabotage may be used to sabotage an enemy military building, considerably slowing down its production and research rates. Oh my lord. Ability can target one military building to slow its work rate by 75% for 40 seconds. Total cooldown 160 seconds. Emir must be nearby the target building to use the ability. Okay, you're pushing in to your enemy's base. You have Tsetsi Sabotage. Your opponent instantly hits age 3 as you're coming in. They've got 2 Raxes down. You begin focusing down the first barracks with your units. The second barracks, Tsetsi Sabotage comes in, and they can't get their Veteran Musk upgrade. That's huge. Is it going to be worth... It's probably going to be worth a shipment when you think about it. Like, the potential that you could do with that would be just so annoying. We'll have to think about that. Team Marymount Network, H2. So that's an H2 card as well. So H2 ships 2 griots on the team, reveals the location of all trading post treasures and enemy fortifications on the map. Enemy fortifications on the map? So that's like walls and outposts, I guess. All benefits granted to your entire team. That's huge. Rano Indigo production. Villagers gather coin faster from fields. Work rate 25%. So it's like the plantation 25%, or estate 25%. That's insane. That is insane. It's not really that insane. That's good. Costs 1,000 influence. Ships a number of raiders and Lafidi knights and makes their upgrades cheaper and research faster. So you get 4 raiders, 3 Lafidi knights. Oh, Ethiopia have got something similar to this. Okay. War camp hand cavalry upgrades, research time and cost reduce. Elite upgrades minus 100%, so it becomes free and immediate. Oh, dude, that is good. That is so good. I feel like this is going to be very good in 1v1s. It's not going to be that good in 2v2s, though. So don't take it in 2v2s. Take it in 1v1, though. That is a really good upgrade. Influence, infinite tokens of 1,000 influence. This is pretty big. Yeah, should be highly useful in the treaty game mode. Agreed. That is massive. And Red Fulani cattle in age 4. Ships a prize bull and a number of semi-fattened cattle. Can be sent twice. Dude, they basically get Big Benny, but he's even bigger. He's the biggest Benny. Oh my lord, dude. It's Big Benny's big brother. Big Barry. Dude, it's gotta be Big Barry. Oh my lord, dude. Big Barry, Big Benny's big brother. That's so many B's. I can't handle it. So it can be sent twice. Ships a prize bull containing 900 food, which is Big Benny. Ships 12 Sangha cattle containing 200 food. That is a lot, dude. That is a huge amount. Can't be sent if it would put you above the cattle build limit of 20. That would literally fill you out. That's crazy. Kororafa Confederacy 4 arrives fast, ships a number of Yoruba Esso riders. Takes only 5 seconds, ships 6 Esso riders. Okay, that's cool. That's good. That is much better than 16 Yoruba allies. That is a lot better. Oxen draft, or draft oxen rather, enables African cattle to construct fields and slowly gather resources from them. What the heck? African cattle gather resources at half the speed of a villager. Animals do not fatten while working. Okay, let me just talk about this interaction. This is interesting. Draft oxen. So your cattle, okay, when you've got them on a livestock market for the Hausa, they will fatten, and once they reach their maximum fattening stage, they go from 0.15 or 0.15 influence a second up to 0.5. You don't need to keep them on the livestock market for them to give you that full rate. You don't get an accelerated or a higher rate of influence trickle by keeping them on the livestock market. You can do whatever you want with them, which means that this is a very effective card potentially in treaty. Half the speed of a villager, that's like an extra 10. I think this is only cattle. It's not goats. But the fact that they don't fatten whilst working doesn't, like, that's fine. That is cool. That is super duper cool. I love that. I think that's great. Ethiopia, 10 new cards. Let's get into it. Oh my lord, I'm excited for this. So hold on. The kill XP you earn from fighting slightly reduces the cost of each Age Up Alliance you research. The XP your Razas earn reduces the cost much more than other units. Hold on. Era of Princes. Illustration. 30 kill XP earned would reduce the cost of aging up by 10 resources. 5 food and 5 coin. 30 kill XP earned by a Raz would reduce the cost of aging up by 30 resources. Since the exploration age does not cost any coin, only the food cost reduction can be applied. Affects all alliances for each age, but affects them one at a time. For example, the cost of the Imperial Age would not decrease until you start researching the Industrial Age. Okay, so it doesn't stack up over the course of the game. So hypothetically, if you kill 100 units in the Fortress Age, you age up to Industrial Age for free. You then have to kill another 100 units to get that same benefit. That's my understanding. That's an interesting concept. That's an Age 1 card as well. I'm trying to think of the type of gameplay that would warrant, I think, like longer Age 2 fights. That's got potential though. Very cool. Not as cool as this guy's hat though. Oh my lord, look at that hat. Is that like a cool hat, or has he just got really big shoulders? I think it's a hat. All of your mountain monasteries currently present on the map contain additional coin. Grant plus 1,000 coin to each mountain monastery. That's cool. That is a cool card. Tabo. Infinite 2 Oromo Warriors. Ships 2 Oromo Warriors. Can be sent infinite times. Okay, that is the least exciting card out of this bunch. Safari. This is the card I referenced earlier. Ships a number of Gaskenya and Shoto Warriors and makes their upgrades cheaper and research faster. So it costs 1,000 influence. Ships 5 Gaskenya and 5 Shoto Warriors. War Camp Infantry upgrades research time and cost reduced. So it's the Elite upgrade 100% and becomes free and immediate. Champion upgrade 50% and Legendary upgrade 20%. The reason why this is so attractive as the Ethiopians is because your upgrades for Gaskenya and Shoto Warriors also affects the Neftenya. So you are upgrading all 3 of your main infantry units doing that. So it's something to be very aware of. This is a really cool card. I'm going to be rushing this card all the time. British Firearms ships a battalion of Harkbusa mercenaries and improves the attack damage of all heavy ranged cavalry. What's heavy range cavalry? Oh, it's the Oromo. That's what it is. Improves it by 5% though. It's not really... I mean, let's make that 10%, then we can probably start talking because the Oromo is already not that good IMO. But, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. So 6 Harkbusas. That's pretty good when you consider, like, if you're going to put that in with other Oromos though. Team 1 Sebastopol Mortar. I like this. Costs 500 influence. Benefits granted to your entire team. And Infinite 12 Gaskenya. We've also got Gondarine Architecture. Improves the hit points of all buildings, particularly palaces, town centers, mountain monasteries, and walls. So every building gets 25%. Town centers get an additional 25% along with palaces. Mountain monasteries get an additional 100%, and walls get an additional 100%. But keep in mind, okay, that might seem like a lot for walls, but the base HP of a wall is 1500. When you research Bastion, which is the upgrade for walls, it's giving you plus 400% wall HP. So this isn't really a lot. This is like an extra 1500 hit points. It's not a big deal. Italian firearms. Ships a battalion of Lille Bombard mercenaries and improves the area damage of all artillery. Ships 3 Lille Bombards. Town centers, additional 25%. Wait. I don't know what that has got to do. Town centers don't have area damage, but that's okay. Artillery, except culverins, gain 25% area damage. This is crazy. Think about it, right? You already have Lille Bombards that are coming, and now they get extra area damage. You have the Sebastopol mortars, and now they have extra area damage. This is going to be, you know that achievement that you get on Steam, Strike, where for killing 8 units, right? I got mine for killing longbows. You're going to be able to kill like 20 longbows in a single shot with this. This is ridiculous. And draft oxen here. It's the same as the one that we saw up at the top. So enables African cattle to construct fields and slowly gather resources from them. So African cattle, so it's basically the same thing as before. Ethiopians, some existing cards are now team cards. So team trade empire. So you don't get trade empire in age 1 anymore, which was actually quite commonly used. It's now moved to a team card and is available in age 2. So each member of your team gets a trade post builder, and all your trading posts are cheaper and stronger and belong to us. Team coffee consumption. It's now a team card, and down from 10% goes down to 5%. So everybody gets coffee. Delicious. We've got 4 new African regions. Maps. Oh my lord. Dunes. Dude, it looks like Great Plains, and there's a single... It's so cool, isn't it? Oh, dude, this looks like Arabia. I take that back. This is Arabia, man. This is awesome. This is actually Arabia. Oh, dude, it's Arabia. I'm curious who the natives are in the middle. Settlements are the Berbers. So you get Berbers in the middle. Really, really cool. If I'm up against a German player, I go Berbers, open, get Berber camel riders out. They'll never raid me. It'll be beautiful. Dunes. Open desert where animals are scarce, though sand and mines are plentiful. Sand and mines? What do I want with sand? Get out of here. I'm not going to read the description. It's quite long. Nah, I'm going to read it. Nah, I'm not going to read it. Don't worry. Ivory Coast, a tropical coastal region named for its export of ivory. So I'm assuming there's a lot of elephants here. It looks like it's very, very dense when it comes to the resources that it's got. Kind of looks a little bit like the Gold Coast. It looks like an extended Gold Coast. That's what it looks like to me, like the Gold Coast, but with more space. Also more trade routes as well. Settlements are the Akan and the Jesuit. So settlements are here, 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 and here. Looks like there's some whales in the sea as well, so that is good to see. I like this. I like this a lot. Curious if that's got gold mines as well. Like many of the coastal regions in this part of Africa, including Pepper Coast and Gold Coast, this region is named for its chief export, ivory. As such, you'll find many large herds of elephants in the coastal grasslands. Doesn't say anything about the gold mines, though. We've got Sahel. Players fight over scattered resources in open grasslands. This looks very similar to the map that we've already got that's existing for the African DLC. One thing to note is it does have cattle or livestock out in the map. What do we have? Does it say specifically what the livestock is? Livestock abound graze. Doesn't say exactly what it is though. But it features a long central trade route and several different groups of natives. So we've got Akan, Berbers, Sudanese, and Yoruba. So they actually switch on this map. Unless, yeah, they would switch. You'd probably only get 2. Very cool map though. I like the look of this one. I'm really looking forward to playing on these new maps. Oh, no. Oh, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, boys. I'm sorry. Control H. Oh, no. I hope there's nothing bad in there. Oh, God, I hope there's nothing bad in there. I'm like looking. There's just chatting. Oh, no. You guys. No. All right. That's what you get. Look at this. Look at this map. One player from each team will always begin on the coastal islands. This is not going to be fun. This is not going to be fun. Somalis, Jesuits, Sufi are the natives here. You've got 3 tribes, trading posts. Like, this is like Ceylon, but a little bit better. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. So let's read the description for this one. Okay, on the east coast of Africa, players will fight for control over lucrative naval trade routes that connect Africa and Asia. In team games, one player from each team will begin on one of the coastal islands. To help with early control of the ocean, each player will begin with a catamaran. As you move inland, key resources including salt mines can be found on the plateau. In free-for-all, players will spawn in the lower grasslands and each will have access to a Somali settlement and a salt mine. You may choose to ally with the Somalis, Jesuits, and or Sufis to help your settlement prosper. This map looks very interesting. Oh, wow. I love this. Dude, Dude, how do they keep... People were wondering, why is the patch taking so long? This is why the patch is taking so long. Yeah. You got so much stuff in here. I've been talking about the patch now for like 15 minutes and I'm not even halfway through. Oh my god, revolutions, updated Barbary states and Egypt. Okay. We have updated the African Revolution decks available to the European civilizations and cards from the African Royals expansion. Barbary States Revolution cards. So they have brand new cards. Good. They were terrible. Egypt Revolution cards. Oh my lord. These ones I'm familiar with. These ones I would have to look at. Actually, 1 Zebek, I know. 2 Zebeks, I know. Team 4 Zanata, I know. 15 Berber Camel Riders, I know. Air Berbers, I know, but that seems a little bit late for Air Berbers. I mean, it's still going to be like, what, 6 Berber villages at most? Seems a bit crazy. Sail Rovers, I don't know what this is. It's still obviously a very water-based revolution. Egypt, obviously, getting a much better deck. The Dervish, as well as the Gatling Camels, the Center Horsemen, they're going to be very comfortable with that. I'm not sure exactly how competitive Egypt is going to be as a revolution, though. I suspect probably not too competitive. The African Royals event, September 14 to October 11. So today, for me, is September 15. It's 3:44 in the morning, though. So for you guys watching this, it's probably the 14th. So let's take a look and see what they've got. The Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition is celebrating the months of September through October and the African Royals with a unique event. While this event is active, everyone will be able to play to 2 parts. Oh, sorry, will be able to play in 2 parts. Our normal 5 event challenges are for all players, and then another 18 challenges exclusively for owners of the African Royals. We're including a fun group of challenges specific to the civs alongside some super cool rewards. Alternate Explorer skins for Ethiopia and Hausa. Oh my god. Enjoy some very unique profile icons. Oh, dude, it's... Look at this, dude. It's an Xbox Gatling. Dude, this is me. This is literally me. And so... Oh, the definition, dude. The definition. It's so HD. It's so HD. While this event is active, everyone will be able to play... Oh, we've already read that, haven't we? New rewards. So starting today through October 11th, complete the in-game tasks within the time limit to unlock exclusive rewards. Challenge number 1, sign into Xbox Live. Oh, that'll get like... All right, well, half of the people are already out. Oh, God, 50% of people already out. Train 50 cavalry in a skirmish or multiplayer game. Ally with all available native civs on a map in a skirmish or multiplayer game. Deal 1,000 damage with native warriors in a single skirmish or multiplayer game. Build 2 forts as the Portuguese, French, or Swedish in a single skirmish or multiplayer game. Dude, the Honey Badger cheat unit. Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger don't care. Do we need, I think we need to see the Honey Badger meme. Honey Badger meme.
This is the Honey Badger. Watch it run in slow motion. It's pretty badass. Look, it runs all over the place. Whoa, watch out, says that bird. Ew, it's got a snake. Oh, it's chasing a jackal. Oh my gosh. Oh, the honey badgers are just crazy.
There you guys go. That's the Honey Badger. That's the new portrait. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get back in. Let's get back into the patch notes. All right, there's an event FAQ here. I'm not going to go through every single one of these things, but do I have to complete the challenges on consecutive days? If you want to go through and read these Q&As, I will leave a link in the description to this video. I'll also post it in the chat right now for you guys. But the description of this video is going to have that link as well. So make sure you go in, click on that if you've got any questions. that you need answered that are covered under the FAQ. Let's take a look at the patch. We've been here for 20 minutes and we haven't even looked at any of the changes. Obviously, before we get into this, I would note that we did actually see prior to this that they released on the public update platform, I think it's called, what their intentions were with the patch. I'm not sure if every single change has gone through. So let's take a look and see exactly what we've got. Starting with stability and performance. So fixed a possible crash when the game boots. Fixed a crash when Desert Warrior is attacked while in defend or stand ground stance. Fixed an issue where the game may get stuck on a black screen or in frozen opening cutscenes. So nice little fixes there. Graphics. Fixed for units with foliage not correctly showing friend or foe colors or outlines for accessibility settings. Fixed an issue where the fishing nets would be out of sync with the ship animations. That link is broken? Oh, really? Don't say that. Ooh, that link's broken. Well, I'll make sure that I leave a correct link in the YouTube description. Don't worry about that, guys. The correct link will be there for you. You guys on Twitch, unfortunately, you're going to miss out on this one. But I won't be refreshing. Do not worry. I will not dare to do such a thing. So fixed for units with foliage not correctly. We've gone through that. Fixed an issue. We've gone through that. Hippos no longer clip into each other when fighting one another. Zebras no longer clip into the ground during their idle animation. Audio. Some more changes. UI. The maximum velocity displayed in the unit stat panel UI for a unit when is in a group now shows the maximum velocity of the group the unit is in. So what does that mean? That means if you've got a group of 10 units, okay, and one of them gets snared by the Explorer, when you look down in your UI, instead of it saying your movement speed is 4, it's going to say your movement speed is 2.72 because your whole group of units is moving at the speed of 2.72. I hope that makes sense. When playing as the Lakota, all of these units now use the correct icon after sending the higher Gunslingers, Cowboys, or Alhoots Homecity cards. Fix an issue where XP floating text would sometimes not show correctly. Fix the incorrect use of images for cancelling Q button on command panel. Plenty of UI changes, actually. Do we even go through this? There's so many UI stuff. I kind of just want to get to balance. Balance is like the best thing. Hotkeys. This is actually important. Fixed an issue where find town center capital would also cycle through US Capitol building. Fixed an issue where find barracks wouldn't cycle through different kinds of infantry buildings. So yeah, blockhouse. This was something that happens with the United States. Good. Hotkey panel no longer has the duplicate entry for cannoneer and multiple cannoneers. Legacy hotkey for US Explorers Inspiring Flag now works correctly. Multiplayer fixed an issue where players were ejected from a multiplayer lobby when the host set the map type to custom. Restore player handicap setting on rematch. Restore player color setting on rematch. Out of sync recovery added when a player game falls. When a multiplayer game falls out of sync, a new lobby will be created using a save game with the most common state. Players will be taken to the lobby where they can download the save game and ready up to continue playing. This is a really great change. This is absolutely huge. I can't imagine the amount of work that actually went into making this work. A lot of people look at at games and think, oh, you should just be able to reconnect or you should just be able to do that. There's a lot that you need to do on the back end. This took a lot of time. It would have taken a lot of patience, a lot of coding. So big props going out to the developer who sat down there for days and days on end coding that one up because that was tough. Oh, thank you, Windsurf Attic. I'm just going to go up and look at that one because that's quite a big one. Prefixing a chat with asterisks to send a message to everyone no longer permanently sends your chat messages to everyone. This was a big thing, okay? Were you ever playing a game, right? You're just in a game, just like I'm about to go into the game. And you're just sitting there and, your opponent starts off and they tell you, good luck, have fun. And then after about 17 seconds, you start seeing that. And you know what you do in response to that? You flare them back. And you're like, hey, I can see your flares. And the reason why is because down here, you can send to enemies or to everyone, and it's to allies. And so if you would say like this, good luck, have fun, it would then set your prefix to always be to everyone. And then so when you would do a flare, it would flare for everyone. Now, I don't know why you would ever want to flare for your enemies. I think that's a little bit crazy that flares are tied to the chat system, but it's great to know that that's not going to be an issue anymore because when you type in good luck, have fun and misspell it like I did, you're going to have to type in that asterisk once again when you correct yourself because it no longer is going to carry over anymore. So that is a great change, a very welcome change. Glad to see it fixed. Let's continue moving down. We've gone through these ones. Now we move on to the gameplay. Gameplay, general, heavy ranged infantry now stand in the front line of formations which feature both heavy and light ranged infantry. That is cool. So you know how your pikes stand in front of your skirms? Now your musketeers also stand in front of the skirms. I'm curious, do the pikes stand in front of the musketeers? Do I dare go check that? I'm kind of tempted, but I know it's going to take a long time, so I'm not going to bother. I'm doing it. I'm going straight in. I'm playing as Spain. Spain have got access to all of those units. I need to know this. This is a science project right here. What is it going to be? Is it the pike, then the musket, or is the pike and the musket standing together? Where does and the skirm goes at the back? A whole lot of love. Speed always wins. Let's find out right now, guys. Go. 1, 2. You. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, by the way, Skirmisher got a whole bunch of new modeling. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, it works. It works. Look at them, dude. They're in the perfect formation. That's exactly how you want it. That is so cool. By the way, just while we're here, take a look at the new Skirmisher artwork. Isn't that cool? Oh, they redid. Oh my lord. Look, they redid. Oh, they redid everything. Your eyes are gonna need like to readjust to this. Hold on. Do you guys want this in full screen? I feel like this needs to be in full screen. Take a look down here, boys. Get down. Have a look at that. Damn. That's looking pretty. I like the look of that. That looks really good. I love the fact that Pike's now stand in front. That's great. That's exactly what we need. Really, really good change. It's the little things. It's the little things. All right, I'm taking you guys back over to the intermission screen. Let's take a look over at our next item. Fixed an issue where overpopping using the Inca Kalanka could result in ghost population, which could never be restored. Using the Kalanka now always restores population counts correctly. That's a well-known bug in the treaty community. Glad to see that it's been fixed. Field foundations no longer remove dead herdables, huntables when placed on top of them. That's a great change, because mills don't. Battle canoes can no longer speed up massively using the no formation option. Sorry, A's 11, it's been fixed. Repair cost for town centers is now calculated based on the actual cost of the town center instead of the default 600 wood value. I think Hazza actually picked up on this. He was the first person I ever saw report this bug. I think someone was trying to repair their town center and it was like they had to pay 299 wood, and he's like, well, the base is a 500, so shouldn't they only have to pay like 249 wood? That's good. Mido saying he doesn't like that skirmisher musketeer change. Oh no, Mido. Oh, maybe we need an option. Maybe you need an option to be able to move in and out with or without. Who knows? Who knows? We'll have to see how it plays out. Effects of treasures that increase the hit points of an explorer's HP are now properly applied again after loading a save game. Curious. Deathmatch players no longer start with the immigrants technology researched. I didn't realize that they actually did start with it researched. That's cool. Fix an issue where units and buildings outside of the view could be selected when double clicking. AI fixes. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Look at the AI fixes. Now, I know that there's a lot of guys who watch my videos who play against the AI on a regular basis. And I appreciate that you want me to go through all this stuff, but you gotta realize there's a lot of stuff here. So if you want to take the time, go ahead, pause the video now, have a look at everything that's here. I'll go slowly through it for you. And you just pause and read the stuff that you want. Alternatively, click the link in the description, go through and have a look at it. A lot of changes here to the AI. So this is really good. Obviously, the better AI we can have, it's going to be really, really helpful. Fixes. A lot of fixes. Oh my god, a lot of fixes. Oh my lord, a lot of fixes. All right, let's take a look. Fixed an issue where units would continue to play their community plaza animations after the community plaza was destroyed. Classic. Fixed an issue where some dialogue could endlessly loop on the Fountain of Youth mission. Okay, fixed attacking units. When attacking units see their target die, they now attack move to the target's location instead of simply halting. This is a big thing. Okay, the paint is coming out right now. What does this mean? This means, okay, let's say you attack move in this direction. You tell your units to attack move over here. And while they're en route, some enemy units are going like on that angle, okay? So your units shoot and kill these units. They get into a fight and they shoot and kill. Now you know what they do? They just stand still. But not anymore. Not anymore. They continue going on that initial command. So that is going to enable them to go onto their target. This is really important when you're in a fight. Why is it important when you're in a fight? Okay, so let's say that you've got a large mass of units down here, okay? And your opponent's got massive units up here. And you attack move them. Okay, what happens is, let's say these units, so there's going to be lines of units that you've got, right? Different lines of units. So let's say you've got 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 4th line is able to reach We'll make it red, so that indicates that they're attacking. So the 4th line is able to reach the first line here. And because they're attack moving, okay, because you give them that attack move command, they're going to fire at this first line. But when that first line dies on the front line, they're not going to keep attack moving back to where you commanded it. You commanded them to attack move up here. They're just going to stand still. And then they're going to wait. And then, then the ally next to them is going to get attacked, and then they will move around, and then they will go and attack. But the point is the AI has now been changed. Really, really good changes for attack AI. Let's take a look at the next thing. So fix an issue where some units' HP resources bars would no longer be visible after loading a saved game. That's pretty good. Fix an issue where the ending cinematic of any of the new African historical battles would not play if the previous mission had been saved and reloaded before it was completed. Building a manor house now correctly spawns a settler. Using the find wagon hotkey in the default hotkeys layout will now correctly find a single wagon rather than all wagons. Adding new zoom out options, new zoom out feature alpha feature may cause performance and graphical new zoom out feature alpha feature. Okay, that needs to. Oh, I think this is the new zoom out. This is in fixes. I don't know what they're trying to say there. I'll be honest. Fixed up some industrial text that should be researched when starting. This is a deathmatch, so we're not going to look at that. That's all deathmatch stuff. Fix some issues with the behavior of artillery units. This was something that I covered before in the last video that most of you guys would have probably seen. This is big. This is really big. This is so big. Turn the music off, Drongo. That's how big this is. Artillery units no longer restart the transition from limber to bombard mode, or vice versa, when pressing the stance button or hotkey during the transition, or when giving multiple attack commands during the transition. Artillery units no longer automatically switch to limber mode when attacking a unit that is not that far out of attack range. Artillery units, Culverin in particular, no longer miss the first shot when selecting a new attack target while transitioning from limber to bombard mode. Alleluia. Alleluia. If it wasn't DMCA'd, I would be playing that song. And because it is DMCA'd, I'm going to sing it for you guys. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There you guys go. Probably off pitch, probably off tune, but that's the best I've got for you on this late Wednesday evening. Allowed garrison allied units to be ejected from any of your buildings. So sometimes your allied units get stuck inside. It's great to see that they've fixed this one up. Enemy neutral player wall foundations, which lay beneath your finished walls, no longer block your walls from being transformed into gates. Community feedback. Community feedback. I like that it's there. Yeah, this was a big one in the treaty community. Many times I'd tune into Haz's stream and he's like, Can you make a gate there? Can you make a gate there? And Floco's like, no, I can't. It's wall. There's a wall underneath it. I can't. Ah, man. Gurkha are now correctly tagged as rifle infantry. Wait, they weren't tagged as rifle infantry? They've been holding rifles all this time. Griots are now able to debuff treasure guardians. Good change. I think A's 11 wanted that one. Clarified the Griot tooltip for their stances correctly so that their stances correctly provide no gameplay differences. Transhumanist technology now correctly affects converted livestock and cattle. Ethiopian cartridge currency, Homecity card no longer reduces the effects of the Solomonic dynasty upgrade. I don't know what that is, but I know what this is. Native Law Homecity now correctly removes the gold cost from the new African native upgrades. Evolution, where are you? Evolution, let me see you in the chat. Let me see you getting excited. There he is, Native Law fixed. Let's go. There he is. I knew he'd be here, and I knew he'd be happy. He is a big fan of the natives, and there he is in the chat right now. Evolution 07, getting very excited about the Native Law fixed. Loyal Warriors, Homecity card now correctly decreases the influence and coin costs of shipments. Land grab no longer enables mills to be placed without building when building them with the native Sudanese technology Hakura system. Yeah, so essentially you could just place a mill and you didn't have to build it. So a cool bug, but not a good bug. Japanese peacetime fishing, Homecity card now correctly affects canoes. United States poker Homecity card no longer sends the legacy Hakapel mercenary, but the newly added Hakbusa instead. So a lot of changes going in here. What are we in here? Oh my lord, we're in fixes. God, this is still fixes? ATP Homecity card now allows trading posts to attack on South American maps that have Inca-style trading routes. Is that a thing? I didn't realize that was a bug. Mercenary loyalty Homecity card description has been updated to clarify that only mercenary shipments are cheaper and not mercenaries trained at the saloon. That's a rap god right there. Theaters, Homecity card is now correctly affected by the German logistician age up. Russian dueling school, Homecity card no longer mentions it's a team card in the tooltip. Oh, that's right. They took away the team card. That used to be a team card, right? The Russian. Age 2. Yeah, this used to be a team card. Okay. Must have mentioned in there. Alright, let's keep on moving on. Hausa, Zinda Kunaris, Homecity card now correctly mentions it ships 9 units instead of 11. European explorers no longer have their tactics disappear in the UI after sending the Castrumentations card. Isn't that what is meant to happen when you get castrumentated? It's a joke, guys. That's a joke. Oh, no. Japanese villagers can no longer collect food from Hunt when any ally sends the Team Furio Homecity card. Burma nomads now correctly mine coin faster than regular villagers. I always wondered that. Was that like meant to be? Was that intention? No idea what the German logistician does. German logistician adds an extra Ulan per shipment. So age 1 sends 1, age 2 sends 3, age 3 sends 4. Actually, no, it doesn't do age 3 sends 4. It's for age 1 and age 2 shipments only. So it's like if you're going to play like long age 2, then you can go logistician for the Germans. Where was it? I don't even see where the German changes now. Oh god, it's gone too far. Sharia technology now correctly adjusts the villager build limit by 10% for French and Dutch. Previously, both SIDs had a higher villager limit. Yeah. So basically, if you got Sharia, your French villager limit would go to, I think it was 89, or might have just been a flat 90, and Dutch would go from 60 up to 70. Arsenal upgrade breastplate now correctly affects Fulani archers. Port Foundation no longer self-destructs upon arrival at Hausa Builder on the Nile Valley map. Some interesting bugs here. And German settler wagons controlled by Hausa and Ethiopia players can now correctly build all African buildings. Fixed an issue where Ethiopian villagers could gather influence from a mountain monastery while gathering from an unrelated nearby resource. That's curious. Sudanese dervish can now be correctly targeted by the war chief's eagle eye ability. That is intended. That's surely intended. Removed various cards that are objectively worse than other available counterparts. I'm glad that they did this. This is really like... This is very, very important. I like that they call it endless instead of infinite, because I'm pretty sure it uses the term infinite times. I guess you could probably say endless. Oh shit, I thought that was in age 3, dude. I thought I clicked age 3. I'm like, why do you have 2 infinite mortars in age 3? I've never seen it called endless before. There's a couple of these cards, like, oh yeah, here, Aztec, 500 gold versus Infinite, 600 gold. Exploit fixes trading post, or trade route trading posts can no longer train native settlement units when they're selected alongside native settlement trading posts. I thought this was already fixed. No, they didn't remove Infinite 2 British rockets. They just removed the 2 rockets card. So there was a card for the British. They have like 3 rockets, 2 rockets, and then Infinite 2 rockets. And it's like, well, why do you need... Wait, where am I British? Oh, they're up there. Like, why do you need 2 rockets when you have Infinite 2 rockets? So now you just have 3 rockets and 2 rockets that are infinite. I hope that makes sense. Civ balance. This is why we're here. This is why we are all here. I'm going to be taking a sip of my Red Bull, guys, because this is what really matters. This will determine how the next couple of months play for civilizations, whether we're going to see Aztec become the new S-tier civilization, like many people suspect will be happening with the buffs to them, if those buffs do go ahead. So we'll have to take a look. Influence. 1 influence is now worth 1.25 food, so it's down from 1.3. Therefore, when the game calculates the cost of units and technologies available at native settlements, those with food costs will be converted to a slightly higher influence amount for African civs. Fixed an issue that sometimes caused influence costs to be incorrectly rounded up, and changes for deathmatch, units and buildings. The reason I'm not going over deathmatch is just because it's not a very common game mode, so it's not something that I'm really going to be looking at. Units and buildings. Auto training units. It's now possible to pause the automatic training of units. For example, Ottoman villages, Japanese dojos, Brazilian voluntarios de patria, and so on. This allows players to stay in full control over their population space usage. Auto training can be paused or resumed by clicking on the Q icon in a production building. Now, I remember the first time I saw this, and I thought, why would I ever want to use this? Now, it's basically to time things. So think about it, right? You've got a Japanese dojo. For anybody unfamiliar with the Japanese dojo, you send the Japanese dojo from the home city. That's how you get it. And the dojo is typically considered to be not that good. So I think maybe this card here sends it. Nope. Maybe this card here. Nope. This card. These are the dojo cards. Okay. Ships a dojo rickshaw. So you can get them from these two cards here. And essentially what you can do is they create units like a town center would for the Ottomans. Okay. And they automatically pop out. And now you're going to be able to pause that. Like, let's say your opponent is pushing in and you want to wait for your age up so that you can pop your military units from your age up plus your dojos at the same time. Then now you can do that. So it prevents them from being killed. So it's a good change. Armor values are now displayed as percentages rather than floats. So 30% instead of 0.3. So a little less confusing. Added new distinctive icons to more clearly communicate the different armor types. We did see that earlier in the evening, so a cool little change. It'll take some time for us to get used to it, but I'm sure it'll be a little bit more distinctive, as they said, new distinctive icons. And that's what's important. You're easily able to identify those things. Unit types. Updated several unit types, type icons for improved readability, and added icons for some types which previously had none. For example, hand shock infantry. Fixed an issue preventing floating point, non-whole number area damage values from being properly calculated. After the Italian firearms take ascent, falconets with 3.75 area damage would have the splash radius properly calculated. Okay, I don't think Italian firearms has been in the game for very long. I think it came in on this patch, right? So, not a big deal. But let's take a look and see. Raz and Namir, so these are the explorers for the Ethiopians and the Hausa. So the respawn rate has been increased to 120 seconds. So it used to be 100, now it's 120. And African heroes may now only be rescued upon reaching 100% hit points. The hit point threshold to rescue other heroes remains unchanged at 25%. Okay, I think I pointed this out in the first video. The rate at which your explorer regenerates HP is so slow that 120 seconds is always going to be shorter than reaching 100% hit points. Your explorer will never reach 100% hit points before 120 seconds. So it means it is always going to be absolutely pointless to try and rescue your explorer. Full stop. Full stop. Now respawn at the... Oh, so Razanamir now respawn at the military home city shipment point because it used to be the economic one. When using the Chaos ability, the African heroes now must be nearby the targeted area. Okay, so before you could do it from across the map. When Chaos is used on a location far away from the African hero, they will now automatically move to that location and use the ability upon arriving. This will make it more convenient to gather treasures in the early game. This is a good change, but at the same time, it's something that I talked about. It could be a little bit inconvenient in the late game when we're talking about Chaos, but overall, I think it's a good change. Akan Tufohan and Berber Sultan, the Fealty Aura tooltip on these units now correctly states which units they get improved by. That's a good change. Mill fixed an issue where certain upgrades cards were acquired. Villagers ordered to build a mill could place a fully constructed one anywhere on the map instead of the foundation. This is a bug fix. Why is this in here? Unit icons. Unit icons for Cav Archers, Hark Boosters, Jaegers, Skirms, Ulans have been updated to further align them with their in-game appearance. Granary. After constructing a granary, villagers now prioritize harvesting dead animals, hallelujah, before hunting new ones. If there are no nearby huntables, they will instead gather from nearby berry bushes or fields. What a great change to the granary. There was nothing more frustrating than putting down your granary and then that villager goes and shoots away your hunt. It's like, no, you're not meant to do that. It's meant to go the other way around. Really good change. Builder wagons. For universities, palaces, camps, mountain monasteries, now transport different cargo to make them visually distinctive. This is a really good change because when you're playing the Ethiopians, typically you're going to age up. You have a mountain monastery as well as a camp builder. They look exactly the same. And you go and you click on it. It's like, no, I want the mountain monastery instead. That's really good. Revolutionary gatherers. Military units available after various revolutions can now gather resources, are now properly counted as gatherers in the UI. Really good change. Big Benny can now be harvested at a rate of 5 food per second, down from 8. So a pretty big nerf to Big Benny. But at the same time, you're not really using him as a source of food. Obviously, you can. But in an event that you do, it's a very good shipment. You know, it's much better than 700 food. It's an extra 200 food. And he doesn't decay either. So it's a pretty decent amount of food. But pretty decent. Livestock market has been adjusted as follows. Coin exchange rate. Starting value reduced to 40%. So down from 60%. It used to be 60, now it's 40. No change has been made to the starting wood crate. This is curious. This is curious. It basically means that you're going to be delayed significantly with any of your existing timings. It's a good change. Don't get me wrong. I think obviously Africa needs, or the African civs need nerfs, and this is a good direction. Selective breeding costs has been reduced from 100 wood, 100 coin down to 75 wood, 75 coin. A good change. Encouraging more economic focus. Transhumanist, which is an age 3, is no longer locked behind selective breeding, so you don't have to research selective breeding first, because you got to think about this, right? This upgrade increases the rate that your units fatten, or that your livestock fatten. But you might not want that. You might not need it. You might just want to go straight to transhumanists. And in that case, it's not locked behind selective breeding anymore. Cow loans is no longer locked behind transhumanists, so they're all on separate icons. Cow loans, so it's been moved to age 3 as well, so cost improved to 300 wood, 300 coin. This is really good. Cow loans is going to become meta, 100%. Like, there's no way. That's so good. Desert Archer has been adjusted as follows. So the cost has been increased. It's gone up 5 coin, so from 30 food, 70 coin to 30 food, 75 coin. But they've also buffed the unit, which I think is the right thing to do. Desert Archer was definitely the underused mercenary unit on the African maps. So Desert Warrior, and Javelin, or Desert Warrior and the Desert Rider, maybe? Desert Raider, I'm not sure. They were the more overused, or the more commonly used units. They have also been, or the Desert Warrior has also been nerfed. So cost increased, hit points lowered by 10, and ranged attack damage reduced by 1. Good changes. Like, you don't want it to be more than this. You just go a little bit at a time. You don't want to reduce that damage from 15 down to 12. Then people just never use the unit again. These are good changes. So the Javelin Rider, the unit has had HP reduced from 210 down to 190. Train time reduced from 40 down to 35 seconds. Melee artillery multiplier reduced from 3 down to 2.5. So very subtle nerfs, with the exception of the train time. Actually, I would say this is not a subtle nerf. This is a pretty big nerf. From 210 down to 190. That's actually really big. Because you got to remember, every upgrade subsequently is going to be less effective. Santa Horsemen have now been adjusted as follows. Hit points reduced to 1100 from 1200. Now available in the Fortress Age from the Saloon Tavern Palace. Previously it was Industrial, like the Mameluke. Attack and hit point shadow upgrades, and adjusted accordingly. Good changes. Actually going to nerf Ethiopia pretty significantly, and Hausa. I'm just going to quickly dive in. I'm just going to send the card. I want to take a look and see what happens when we send the card. Do I have a deck with it? Yes, we do. So they're there. So previously they had 1200 HP in age 3. I'm suspecting that they're not going to have 1200 HP anymore. I think they're probably going to have, like, what is it, 975 or something? We'll do a quick check though. Speed always wins. A whole lot of love. And most importantly, we need Nova and Orion. By the way, do I have that ludicrous zoom turned on yet? UI options? It's probably game options, right? What's it under? Oh, it's under game options, minimum zoom. Here. Where is it? Oh, maybe I can't do it in game. Oh, I probably can't do it in game. Never mind. Yeah, I don't think I can do it in game. Graphics options? Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, my God. Okay, can I just say I don't like the fact that there's a dust storm occurring on my screen when I'm... Oh, my Lord, dude. It's so good, though. Oh, it's so good. Can we get rid of that dust storm effect though, please? Is that a thing? Can I turn that off? Graphics. I don't have clouds turned on. Bloom. We'll have to test this later. But I don't like the dust storm. But I do love the... Because look, you're at max zoom. As soon as you go out too much, like now there's sand up there. See that? Sand? Dust storm? Now the dust storm's really happening. Now the dust storm is like going out of control. Okay, so we're looking at the Center Horseman. I'm just going to send these through. So previously the Center Horseman had 1200 HP. Now it's 1100 HP as a base. So when it goes up to age 4, dude, it got buffed. Dude, it's a big boy. Okay, that's pretty good. I thought the base HP would be set to 1100. That's decent. That's real decent. Zenata Rider has been adjusted as follows. Cost increased. Oh my god, they increased it a lot. 250 coin from 220? Was the Zenata Rider that good, dude? I never liked these units, man. I didn't understand why they're considered so good. They must have had some stats, like people who build Zenata Riders win like 80% of their games or something. That is curious. Okay. Range resistance improved as well from 25% to 20%. Sudanese Dervish have been adjusted as follows. Speed reduced, thank the Lord. Now inflict 0.5 to artillery, now inflict 0.5 to cavalry. Shock infantry multiplier adjusted accordingly. Good. These units were busted. These were overpowered. There's no doubt about it. They're probably still really strong. Yeah, they are. They can still chase down units effectively. 4.75 movement speed. It's, yeah. It's, they're still going to be really good units. But, I mean, you want them to be good units. You need them to be viable. Berber Camel Rider. Resistance flipped to melee. Speed reduced to 7. Good changes as well. Berber Camel Riders were obviously very, very good units. Like, whenever you as an individual are motivated to make the native units over your own units, they're probably too good. Like, you want them to complement your army and not to not overpower them, but like be the primary source of it, if that makes sense. And like both the Dervish as well as the Camel Rider were those things. The Esso Rider as well is one of those things. Hit points now decay at 0.75 per second, up from 0.5. Honestly, this should be like 1.5 per second. This is still too slow, in my opinion. Cost increased, 90 food, 90 coin from 80 food, 80 coin. Yeah, not bad. Resistance improved from 40% to 50%? You're buffing them? Okay. Now inflicts 0.25 versus villagers. I mean, they do like 80 damage a hit. Like, it doesn't really matter if it does 0.25 to villagers. Like, you're still going to kill every villager you come across. Siege damage reduced to 15 from 35. That's a good change. That is a good change. Train speed increased to 20 seconds, but the Yoruba Warrior Society's upgrade now also improves their train speed by 50%. Yeah, I like this, because they're still emergency. And I think that they need to have that kind of niche. I like that. They're basically like a Minuteman. They're like a late game Minuteman that you can build on the front line as well with native embassies. Kennear Mercenary, damage reduced to 28 from 30. Shipment of 9 reduced to 8. Shipment of 15 reduced to 14. Good changes. All good changes. All right, now we get into civilization balance. This is where it starts to get serious. Number of cattle reduced from 5 to 4. Gascania. Cost has been increased. Up 5 food. Not a huge amount. Melee attack damage increased from 12 to 15. Melee attack multiplier against cav decreased. So it goes from 12 times 4, which was 48, to 15 times 3, which is 45. Not a big difference. Range has been reduced. Standardized the range. It's now the same as a normal musketeer. 12 from 14. Siege damage reduced from 28 down to 22. Massive nerf there. Speed reduced on the Sebastopol mortar. Overall, these are very needed, very necessary changes. Gascania, incredibly strong. Still going to be a really good unit. Very cheap. Even 70 food, 30 wood. But the good thing is they're taking it slowly with these units. Okay, they're not nerfing it like crazy. They haven't... You know, they didn't hit it on 7 different fronts. They just hit it on a couple of different fronts, and I think this is exactly the right way to go about it. In fact, you could even argue that this is a buff. I would definitely take 3 melee damage if it meant just slightly less damage against cavalry. 100%. That's a good change right there. The range reduction is going to be the big thing. Sebastopol mortar speed reduced. This is going to stop them from being able to micro so effectively against Culverin. You guys have seen very infamous clips of me managing to escape with my single Sebastopol mortar, getting healed up. That won't be happening again now that the Sebastopol mortar's had its speed reduced. Technologies and cards. Finally, a Roman migration. Getting the nerf it needed, it deserves. Delivers an additional village for each villager up to a maximum of 14. Added a food cost of 50 food per villager lost. So let's say you lost 14 villagers. You're now going to get 15 villagers, and it's going to cost you 700 food to send the shipment. Good change. Counter cavalry tactics no longer available to the Ethiopians. Prize Big Bull, aka Big Benny. He is nerfed, so from 5 food, or from 8 food a second down to 5 food. Era of Chaos has now changed, so it now unlocks the Mayhem ability, so it's different from Chaos. So enemy units in the targeted area will fight each other. No change. The radius has been reduced from 5 to 3. So just to give you an indication, like the last one was very small, and that was a radius of 3. A radius of 5. This is now a radius of 3. I'm curious to go in and check that, just because it's going to be so damn small. Effect duration set to 5 seconds for all units. When the ability is used, the Raz now requires vision of the area to use the ability, as described earlier. I think, if I remember correctly, it also needs to be close to the units as well. Currently, almost all units which inflict splash damage cannot damage friendly targets when under the influence of this ability. This is a known and existing bug, but mostly affects artillery. Also applies to cuirassiers, macemen, and several other units which inflict splash damage, which we are aware of. So they obviously haven't fixed it yet. They are aware of it. Would probably provide, or probably going to require a little bit of work behind the scenes to fix that one up. Cartridge currency, coin bounty reward improved to 30%, up from 15, but now only affects infantry and cavalry. Unit bounty reward improved 30%, but now, hold on, it's just mentioned twice. Yeah, I think it's just mentioned twice. 4 semi-fattened zebu, corrected the food total for the cattle delivered to 200. So it used to be 250, now it's 200. Infinite semi-fattened cattle. Dude, this card is going to be busted now. This is going to be like, this is going to be an A tier, S tier card right here. Corrected the food total of the cattle delivered to 200. Previously, were not fattened at all. They used to give you 8 skinny little cattle that were 50 food each. Now they're going to be big boys. They're going to be beefy boys. 200. Damn, that's good. All right. Let's take a look at Hausa. Hausa also having their starting cattle reduced from 5 to 4. Big nerfs coming in for both African civs. Free cattle delivered with each shipment now spawns at the livestock market. If there's no livestock market, then they spawn at the economic home city shipment point instead. Units and buildings. Whoa, whoa. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. I accidentally clicked that button. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. I got it. I got it. I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm just going to keep scrolling. All right. We're here. We're here. Okay. Where were we? We are down here. Hausa. Okay. Fulani Archer. Long range attack damage reduced. They reduced the damage? Oh, I guess that makes sense for the Fulani Archer. It was pretty good. From 14 down to 13. Treaty players beware. Lafidi Knights adjusted, so they've had their health reduced, but their damage has been increased by 1. Heavy cannons available from the British Alliance now train faster, 18 seconds faster. So pretty big deal there, because you can only train 1 at a time. And the griot has been adjusted. So it now has a default area intimidation effect. This is really big. So basically with the griot, you used to have to send the card for it to be effective. This card right here. But I don't think you're going to need to do that anymore. So it inflicts more damage. Instruments now intimidate enemies in a greater range. So probably not going to be a requirement to send that card anymore. Pretty decent change though. Technologies and cards. So champion cavalry. The cost has been decreased from 800 to 600. That's crazy cheap, dude. That is so cheap. Infantry Imperial Cavalry, 1500 versus 2k. Another good change. 6 Raiders in H2 has been reduced down to 5. Good change. 10 Desert Warriors is now 9. Good change. 16 Yoruba allies removed. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna have to change these songs. Apologies, because I don't know if I've got DMCA rights on that. Do we have more music? More music, please. No, not that music. There we go. That's the music that we want. Harris Heller. 16 Yoruba allies. It's been removed from the game. It's completely gone. Thank the Lord. It is gone. Durbar Parade now increases the movement speed of Lafidi Knights by 10% and Raiders by 5% instead of improving their train speed. This fixed an issue in Treaty where you can have instantly training cavalry, and that's never fun. Suya Skewers now also improves. That should be now. Now also improves huntable and herdable yields by 15%. So this card here, available in the third age. Where are you? I think this one? Yep, Suya Skewers. Oh, they also buffed it to 35%. This is a pretty good card. This is like refrigeration, but like the native version. This is cool. I like that. I like that card a lot. FF into Suya Skewers, anyone? Amina Epic. It's a card in Age 1. Now grants a sum of influence equal to 3% of the cost of each Lafidi and Raider trained so far in that match. 3% is a fair amount. I don't know if that's just going to be Treaty. I feel like that could probably be Supremacy at 3%. 3% of each Lafidi? What's a Lafidi? A Lafidi's like, does it say on here? No, it doesn't say on here. A Lafidi's like... Let's go have a look. Desert Warrior, Levied Bowman. It's probably back over here, isn't it? It's not. Oh my lord, that's terrible. Where are... Oh, here they are. 90, 110, so they're 200. 3% of 200 is 6. So each one that you've trained is 6 influence. It's not that much. Probably only Treaty. Yeah, probably only Treaty. Never mind. Okay, so 4 semi-fattened Sangha, or 4 sem-fattened Sangha, now lowered from 250 down to 200. And we talked about this card as well for Ethiopians. Semi-fattened Sangas now are actually semi-fattened and not skinny little boys before. All right, here we go. Changes for the Aztec. Now, keep in mind, these changes have been revised. One of the changes that is missing from this change, or that I talked about, was the Puma Spearman change, where they got an extra Puma Spearman in Age 2 in their shipments. That is not the case. They do not get that shipment anymore. So, or rather, it's not they don't get that shipment, they don't get that change. So they were going to make it from 6 Pumas up to 7 Puma Spearmans. They reverted that. So that's not in it anymore. But they did reduce the cost of the Puma Spearman. They also reduced the hit points, and they reduced the siege damage by 1. It's an interesting change. I think overall this is a buff to the Aztec, because you're going to have cheaper spearmen. You're still going to need to... the break point is still going... that they are going to get one shot by a colonial militia town center. Or a town center that's got a town center that has sent town militia will kill them in one shot, irrespective. So it's not a big nerf, and then siege damage just reduced by 1. I mean, you're paying 10% less for the unit, and you're losing a single siege, which is less than... It's like 2%. This is pretty good. This is a buff. Like, you lose a lot of impact off that card. Not a lot of impact. I mean, you're losing like 6 siege per swing, which stacks up, but it's not a lot. This is a good change. I'm curious where this came from. Aztec are looking good though. British Longbowmen, line of sight increased to 26 from 24. The reason why this was done, as far as I'm aware, is just because there was an issue with retargeting. I don't think... Does Yeoman actually give them extra line of sight? I think it does, doesn't it? Yeah, adds 4 line of sight. I think they had an issue with retargeting, but it makes sense for them to have slightly higher line of sight. I think as well, like, skirmishers have got 20 range, 24 line of sight. And so they're just bringing it in line with that. The base is 22 range, 26 line of sight. United States, Team Louisiana Purchase now spawns only 3 bison. So it used to be 6, only 3 bison at each town center. Cost increase to 1,000 coin from 750. This is still going to be a really good card. You're still going to want to send this in your team games, especially in your 3v3s. 2v2s, not so much, unless you've got like an ally that really relies on those native or natives on those natural herds. An ally like the Lakota, an ally like the Hausa. We've got new maps that have been added into the pool, so African map sets. We've added those 5 new maps. Standard maps, Sahel, Dunes, Ivory Coast, and Sahel twice. I don't know why they've added Sahel twice. What were those? Are they accidentally putting in a map there that they shouldn't be? Swahili Coast, Sahel, Ivory Coast, Dunes. I think they're just putting in Sahel twice. I don't think that's intentional. I do not think that is intentional. And treaty map sets. They've added Darfur and Savannah. Map fixes, a whole bunch of map fixes. Oh, apologies for hitting that microphone. These are what appear to be largely for treaty. So I'm going to be skipping through most of these. But let's take a look at what is coming up on the horizon for Age of Empires 3. Now, keep in mind, guys, around the corner, we've got Age of Empires 4 due to release in 6 weeks. It's the 15th of September. Age of Empires 4 will be releasing on October 28th. But despite that, still, we have this coming up on the horizon. Number 1, Empire Wars Game Mode. Coming to Age of Empires 3. For anybody unfamiliar with Empire Wars, the way that it works is this. Instead of starting off in the first age with a town center and 5 or 6 or 7 villages, you start off in the second age with 20, 22, 23 villages, already having military production buildings on the ground, already having houses out, already having infrastructure built at the very beginning of the game. Each civilization has got a different amount of infrastructure depending on its bonuses that it starts off with. It is super duper cool, and it makes games go a lot faster because typically the first 5 minutes of the game are always going to be going the same way. So why do we even play them? Just get rid of them. And that's what Empire Wars does. Is it going to replace the normal game type? It's unlikely. But is it going to be a fun addition to Age of Empires 3? Yeah, it will. Homecity customizations for the civs that don't already have them. Really, really cool. More. I wonder what they're going to do. Tell me. What are they going to do for the Haudenosaunee? Like, you get some custom fire upgrades. Like, you get a new pot for your tribal marketplace. Like, what is this? Like, what what upgrades can you offer me here? There's not a lot. Blue flames? Yeah, if you're lucky, Dreads. More unique Explorer skins as event rewards. A new, never-before-seen game mode for Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. Oh my god. No way. A new civilization? Bro. No way. I will say it right now. I said there would be no more civs after the African civs. After those 2 African civs, I said there would be no more civs. And I'm wrong. I'm genuinely surprised. I'm genuinely surprised they are supporting this much content to come in Age of Empires 3. I genuinely thought this was it for Age of Empires 3. I thought this will be the last patch that we get. The rest of the patches, it's going to be like Age of Empires 3 is going to be put on live support. But it is not the case. We are getting a new civ. What's it going to be? I think it might be another African civ. I've got a feeling it might be another African civ. So they can, like, you know, call it an African expansion, quote unquote. Oh, what could it be? Italians? Koreans? Maybe Mali? Zulu? Yeah, Zulu. Zulu, India. Zulu, Italy. Korea. Gel Cells in the chat saying Martians, get out of here. I don't think so, DB Mint. I don't think that is it at all. Yeah, that's curious. That is very, very interesting. I love that they leave this right at the bottom. This is literally, when I put this video on YouTube, this is going in the title. New civilization confirmed for AoE 3. They put this right at the end. Can you believe that? Those cheeky buggers. Those cheeky buggers. Fellas, if you're watching this one on YouTube, it's been a long one. We're at about an hour and 10 minutes at the moment. So if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching. Once again, if there was anything that I missed, make sure you leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to see the patch notes, make sure you check out the link in the description because I'll leave that one there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.